Good evening, everybody. Welcome back into the Dragon's Den. Hope everyone's having a great day today. Um, so we're trying something a little new tonight, and that is a dual live stream. If things are set up, and I'm thinking it is because I'm seeing something in the other screen over here, I am streaming to both Twitch and YouTube tonight. So we're trying to see how that goes and see if I get any drop frames. I did actually run a physical connection for the computer for the internet so that we're not hampered by any wireless stuff. Um, yeah, so how's the store coming? How I do it? The store's going great. Today was grand opening, right? Today was grand opening here at Digital Dragon 3D. So the day went really, really well. We are all a little tired. It took us a little while. We had to get everything straightened back up afterwards and do a little bit of cleaning before tomorrow. And so Evil Diesel and Mrs. Dragon have headed on home. And that's why I'm a little bit late starting to stream tonight. Um, very A little bit of a slow start. Took a little bit before everybody started showing up, but we did have Thunder Keys make the trip down from Virginia again. So that was good to have him here. And uh, Tinkering Techie, otherwise known as Guru of Null or Multi-Headed Voron, was here. We had Christopher Lala, Prince Like Me, off of TikTok. He was out here. We had Jedi Spidey and his wife came out. Let's see, who else did we have? We had Lomax, Sandhills 3D of TikTok fame was out here. He was out here in the morning and then took off and went over to Raleigh to Ecovate 3D to teach a class on Nomad Sculpt, and then came back. Had various other people in the local area come out and see the new shop space. So it was all pretty good. We had a surprise visitor or visitors in the form of K Breezy, aka KB3D Chris and Chris 2 showed up today. So that was a surprise. I didn't think they were going to come down out of Ohio due to weather. And they were here. They were out here and supporting, which was amazing. So good times all around. The shop is well received, and that was really good. You should have taken the night off. Yeah, I was thinking about it, Wick. There was a part of me that was like, do I stream or not? And I decided to go ahead and we're going to stream for a little bit. Shop will be open again tomorrow, so not going to be here all night, but it did go well. We had some good sales. I ended the night by putting in another order for some filament, and I got to make another order for a different vendor's filament probably on Monday morning. And yeah, that's going well. Sold a couple of printers, which is always nice. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a great weekend. I hear that there's a big event tomorrow in the form of, I guess there's a big football game tomorrow. So, hey, 491 Phantom, how's it going? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, like I said, the grand opening went well. We had quite a few people here. We had some people from the local area that are also going to be starting a business soon, and they were out here checking out the grand opening. So that was really cool to have some people going through some of the same classes in the local small business community that I'm going through. So that was really nice. What? All right, like I said, I'm starting this new stuff. So I've got OBS over here, and I know I'm seeing the stuff in the Twitch live stream, and I've got a YouTube window up over on the other side. So gonna have to try and figure out how to manage all of this. Is shipping up and running? Sort of. So go on the website and see what you want. You can place an order, and what'll happen is when you place that order, go ahead and send us a note at info@digitaldragon3d.com, and we'll go ahead, pull the order, figure out what shipping is going to be, and I'll reach out to you most likely through PayPal or through a separate invoice in the system for the shipping. We're still working that issue out, and it's just proving problematic. We think that everything USPS is happening with how the data is being sent from our Odoo backend to USPS. So we're trying to get that stuff sorted out. UPS and FedEx is just different stuff. We're working through it. How's it going, Zombie? Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. So like I said, we're trying something new today. We've got people both on YouTube and Twitch now. I'm trying to do the whole dual streaming thing to see how that goes. So, hey, Shrimp Father, how's it going? Welcome in. Hey, Thunder Keys. I was talking about you a little bit earlier, and your Raven, and I didn't get the other gentleman's name, but Raven did come by after you left. So Raven's another person off of the Armored Turtle / Box Turtle Discord, and they stopped by today and checked out the store. So that was nice to, once again, find even more people in the community coming out. Like I said, I was thoroughly shocked by KB3D, Chris and Chris 2 coming out and seeing us. So that was really cool surprise. To the point of, you guys are going to love this. Who out there needs a KB3D branded pry bar, aka screwdriver? we got a few of these that we can toss into some orders. So if you get an online order, you might get a free screwdriver. Hey, Chris, too, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, if only they were hex drivers. Exactly. We had that conversation. Hey there, John Doe. How's it going? Yeah, so, yep, Luke is live, and we're working on a dual stream setup right now. So we are live over on YouTube as well. So this is the first time we're able to do that. We got that software. So fingers crossed everything goes well. And hey, Chris, how's it going? Chris just resubscribed for 35 months in a row. Holy hat. Holy hat. But yeah, we're doing good. Mrs. Dragon and Evil Diesel went home. They're both moving pretty slow at this point. I'm moving a little bit slow. Tonight's going to be fun. Yeah, it was definitely good to see Chris and Chris. Like I said, they shocked me and surprised me with showing up down here, but it was really good to see them again. Yep, Miss Dragon was awesome, and we had some door prizes, so we did some door prizes, and I think just about everybody that was here got something from the door prize. Thanks to Thunder Keys, he reached out to Daniel over at West 3D, so we had a few late entries for the door prizes from Daniel. So I appreciate that. I'll be reaching out to him. We got something really, really cool that came into the shop today. I'm going to have to move some things around, so bear with me. If you hear me grunt a little, it's okay. It's just my back. You know, I think they can rebuild those. Goes there, that goes there, because I'm going to have to move the printer in order to bring the other printer by. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yeah, let me grab this. We got something really, like I said, really, really cool that came into the shop. Jump over here. Hopefully this doesn't freeze on us. Yeah. So we have a Robo R1 Plus that came into the shop for service. This is a printer, if I remember right, it was in the 90s at some point. It predates Kickstarter. He basically got this right when it came out and was released. But this is a Robo R1 Pro or R1 Plus. And the extruder had an issue. So I did clear this with the owner and see if we can do some content on this, and he said it was okay. So, you know, we're going to give it the Digital Dragon treatment. We're going to try and clean some things up, and we're going to work on getting his extruder, or the not the extruder, but the hot end cleaned up. And if we need to get into the extruder, we'll get into the extruder. But yeah, this is going to be really, really cool. I know KB3D was taking a look at it and kind of getting all up into it, just checking it out. I mean, it's got like spade connector crimped end stops and actual lead screws. Looks like a E3D style hot end, so we'll go ahead and get that squared away. So yeah. 90s, I think you mean 2016. Was it 2016? I thought he said it was earlier than that. I mean, we'll have to check. I'm going to have to dig up on this and check it out. But yeah, it was basically, he said that he went and tried some newer PLA in it, and apparently the printer didn't like it. It might have been 2016. I don't know. I thought it was definitely the 19 or in the 90s or something is what I thought he said, but we'll go with whatever. Yeah, he let us do the peel. This still has the plastic across the front. Like it's the original plastic still there. As in the plastic covering the logo, so we can rebuild them. We have the technology. Exactly, Chris, too. Yeah, it's great that they came out and supported the store. Like I said, KB3D was here in force, and Thunder Keys was out here. We've talked with Daniel some. It looks like we are going to have a path forward on bringing ambrosia into the shop. So we will have ambrosia filament here in the shop, hopefully in the near future. Robo R1 was Kickstarter in 2013, R1 Plus in 2015 or 16 from what you're seeing. Looks very 90-ish though. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so yeah, we're going to reach out and we're going to bring some ambrosia in. My intent is most likely just to bring in the ABS or ASA ambrosia side first and go from there. Yeah, it looks so much like an 80s era sewing machine. Exactly. Like we'll get into this another night. We're going to do dedicated content on this. But yeah, and it's really, really weird because it's got like, what, like a standard GT2 pulley on the motor. And we'll have to get into it because I should be able to take the side plastic or this whole plastic piece off. But it's got a standard GT, looks like 22 pulley on the one side. And then the other side is like a huge smooth bearing, but it looks like it's the size of like a 40. So it's really weird. It's like a 20 tooth and then a 40 tooth over on the other side. So it's a really weird belt path. But yeah, we're going to have some fun. We're going to clean it up. We're going to get the tool head replaced. Apparently the individual that brought this in won a Undertaker nozzle from Daniel over at West 3D. So I'm going to have a couple of things shipped over here from Daniel and get them out to the people that won the things in the door prize drawings. And yeah, so we've got a new nozzle. We'll probably just replace the actual heat block on it that's pretty much toasted. And yeah, we'll get this up and running again. But this was just really, really cool. I know everybody pretty much liked it. When the guy brought it in, we were all like, woo! We'll put that back over there. Yeah, so what all we got? Filament of the Gods, exactly, Howie. Ego Sum Budarum. Is it running? Actually, Howie, I have no idea if it's running Marlin or what it's running. Hey, Bexy Beans, how's it going? Big hearts out to you. Hope everything's going well with you and you're getting ready for your big event. So we were just looking at one of the machines that actually came in today. We had a very, very successful grand opening today. We had a machine that came in for repair. And that same couple, we're talking to them about some of the machines that we have and the capabilities that we have here with some of the printers like the H2D. And other thing I'm going to announce is I'm going to be getting the Cheedy lineup in. So we'll have the Cheedy Tech lineup of printers coming in as well. But the gentleman that brought that Robo R1 Plus in is in the high performance racing car market. So he's looking at having the ability with various printers coming into his shop to be able to do parts for race cars. So that's going to be kind of cool. So we should be able to get some items to him and his team to work on. So let me get this up here and turned around. Here we go. Nobody saw me lift anything, right? My back doesn't hurt at all. Nobody saw me lift anything. Well, thank you, Bexy. Hope your day gets a little bit better. My evil twin, yeah. There we go. You really like the streaming setup in the store? Thanks, Built Over Bot. No clipping of that. No clipping. No clipping. Hey, Noah, how's it going? Welcome in. So yeah, since our last stream a couple of days ago, what I did was I ran those two cables that I showed you, and they're Leviathan board and the extension board now, and I got them routed through the cable chain and just installed the cable chains. So what we've got here is A and B, as well as B1 and A1. And you'll notice that we've got, or maybe not, I just realized that that camera froze again. So give me a second and let's see if we can't bump the camera and get our camera to work again. So annoying why this camera keeps like see if it's going to work again. Okay, so we got it working for a moment. We've got one row 4-pin. This is the standard cable. This is the cable that came with the original LDO motors. And then we've got a 4-pin, so 2x2. So what that'll do is that'll tell me that my my 2 rear motors are the flat cables like any other boron, and the front motors will get attached to the 2x2 4-way connectors. So it just helps you identify what motor's going to what. Time for me to sleep. Sound good, Bexy Beans. Thank you. I was guest 100 on Polymaker and you were 101. That's awesome. Congratulations. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Is we're going to come through here. Of course, this is looking at it from the back. So this is B, this is A, which means if this is B, then the motor coming from here is going to be B1. So that motor wire that we have coming out here that would be too short to make it through anyhow is going to be B1. We'll bring it around, kind of figure out where it's going to be, and cut it, do the pin out so that we can connect those together. And so we'll work on getting our 4 cables made. Is it all going to happen tonight? We'll see. We'll see once again. B, A. So we'll grab A and we'll start with this one first. Yeah, I will probably just kind of go like there. We'll have some slack to be able to play around with, but the end result is we're going to have all 4 of our motors connected right in here. So you like the purple / magenta? Okay, so this particular printer, DigitalDragon, is the color scheme is based on the printed forward parts that I won at Rocky Mountain Rep Rat Festival, the inaugural one. So that one is, so the color scheme here is Polymaker Purple ASA and Sparta 3D Sparkle Fluorescent Pink. So that's our color scheme on this particular printer. Okay, so we're going to need these and these because we're going to do the rear ones first. So standard type stuff here, we're going to strip a little bit of wire and install our Molex pins, and then we'll line them up one at a time and put them in as we verify the order. And we're going to match color for color, so black to black, blue to blue, red to red, so forth. So here's a question for everybody out there, both YouTube and Twitch. Who's planning on going to Rocky Mountain Rep Rat Fest this year? Who's planning on going to Rocky Mountain Rep Rat Fest this year? First attempt and first failure. That was okay. Welcome on in, Kay. We're just gonna go Kay Fegley. We'll go with that. Um, can't do Rocky, but we'll be at Midwest. All right. We will see you at Midwest. As it stands right now, we are planning on going to Rocky Mountain. We're not going to have a table this year. With opening the shop, we can't be gone as long as we have in the past. And normally we take about a week to drive out, do the event, and then drive back. And we're just not going to be able to swing that much time out and away from the shop. So we will be doing a hit and run at Rocky Mountain, and then we are planning on being at Midwest Rep Rat Festival as well. We'll have to see. With Midwest being a little bit closer, we might be able to swing having a table out there, and that drive's not too bad. So we can actually drive and do a hit and run there. Hey, Zimzed. Love the quick connect Wago setup on the bed wiring. Thanks. That's been there for quite a while now. Like I said, this is about the fourth mod to this printer since we built it originally. And we've had those Wagos there for a while. I will tell you, we're working on wiring tonight because we were working on the fanny pack, which is the back wiring, and we really need to get these motors wired up before we continue on the fanny pack. And well, I ran out of the house this morning and left the ECAS fittings there and the whole stack of boxes of Wagos. So I have 0 Wagos here to install on the fanny pack. So there's a couple of reasons why we needed to work on wiring tonight. All right. And now what I'm going to do, so this is once again B and A. So I'm going to grab our A connector and line up where the lock would be. And that lets me look at the wire and match up the wire. So red on, black on this. Black, green, red. We'll be able to take that one, put in that one, lock it, make sure none of the wires are coming out, so that's good. And we'll wire these up so that they're out of the way. So that's one side. Now we'll need to take this rear motor, and once again, it's going to need to be able to come over here around there. Cut this off, and we'll do the same thing over on this side. So hopefully we're doing good and we haven't dropped any packets or had much of a delay. I haven't seen any packets drop from OBS. And the stuff in OBS, which is the direct stream to Twitch, should be doing good. And the secondary stream over to YouTube looks like it's still doing good at the moment. So that's good. If you guys are having any type of delay or lag, or things just seem really, really weird over on YouTube, please let me know. But we're just trying to make a little progress on the build here while I've got a little bit of stamina left. Like I said, it's been a fun and emotional day. It was like being at a show, talking with everybody throughout the day. Evil Diesel and Mrs. Dragon were both like, we think we did our social interactions in a month today, you know. But that's basically like being at a show, you know. You see everybody, you try and catch up. I felt like I talked with a lot of people, but then there were some people that I felt like I didn't really, you know, they were here all day, but I didn't really get a chance to feel like I hung out and talked with them much. So Thunder Keys and Chris, you guys really like those donuts that we had for breakfast? So we have a local bakery here, and I didn't realize that they open up at 5:30. Like, I know that they're open around 8, but I've gone in there and I'm like, man, it doesn't look like they really have much here. Oh no. They open up at 5:30, and by 8, they're almost wiped out. And so luckily Mrs. Dragon had ordered a couple of days in advance, so we had donuts, and those things were amazing. Hey, Tinkering Techie, welcome back in. Long time no see. But yeah, we had some good fun. We had some people from the local community and other businesses in the local community. On March 3rd, we're going to be doing a ribbon cutting with the Sanford, North Carolina Area Growth Alliance, Downtown Sanford Inc. We'll have like the mayor and some people from city council here as we do an official ribbon cutting from, we'll say the local, I want to say authorities, but you get where I'm going at. So that'll be another fun day, but that's going to be at like, I think that day is a Tuesday, and it's going to be at 2 p.m. So we'll have a lot more representation from the local businesses here for that. All right. Hard for people to travel, I bet. Exactly. And that's why, we were doing our big day today, and that lets people travel in on the weekend. And then for that event, that's pretty much, like I said, for the government offices, which is really cool that they do that. And there'll be stuff in the paper and social media posts promoting that as well. So that kind of gives you some free advertisement. But the way we're able to schedule things out, it just kind of gives us some good community outreach, and we'll say some free advertisement, because they'll advertise that through the Sanford Area Growth Alliance on their Facebook page and stuff. So we'll get some advertisement out of that without having to pay for it, basically. So yeah. You ever get to Midwest, you got to try Mellow Cream Donuts. Amazing way to get. There you go. My son, who lives in Goshen, believe it or not, he used to live in Goshen. He's over in not Mishawaka. He's in that area though. He took me. It's a pop-up. So it's a catering truck, or not catering truck, but it's a donut business and a food truck, and they do pop-ups all around the various towns and stuff. And we went there, and they're doing sourdough donuts, and the donuts were like that freaking big. I mean, they were just massive. Where's the store located? XY Burtech. We are in Sanford, North Carolina. The address is 152 North Steele, Steele Street. And once again, we're in the Central Business District of downtown Sanford, North Carolina. So, okay, so we've got these two done, and like I said, we'll come in here and we'll do a little bit of wire management, kind of get these things captured up in here some, and then these will come around and join in, and this is A, so this one will be A1. That'll come around. And it's still going to be Molex, but rather than being the 1x4, it's a 2x2, because that's the way that these other extension wires were already pre-cut or pre-made up by me. So, no idea what I made those for the last time, but, you know, reuse of wiring so you don't have to recreate wiring. Always is a good thing. Okay, so question over on the YouTubes. I know I have like timer notifications that pop up over on the Twitch side for things like my affiliate links and Discord and stuff like that. Are you seeing any of that over in the YouTube chat? I'm just curious, because like I said, this is my first time ever doing a dual stream. And my inquiring brain would like to know. You're going to be in Charlotte this weekend, seeing how close you were so you could sneak away from the fam for a bit. Charlotte's about a 2.5-hour drive. So, not sure, but if you can, definitely come on by. We're open. So on Sunday, we're open from noon to 7. So Sundays we're open noon to 7. Monday we're by appointment only, but if you're in the area, come on by. That's perfectly fine. And then on Tuesday through Saturday, we are open from 10 to 7. All right, thanks, Built Over Bot. Just pop in and bang on the doors on Monday. Exactly. Exactly. I will be here. I work the primary job from here every day. So even though the store is closed, I will still be here. And I would definitely love visits by anybody in the community. And if I know you're coming by, I might have to schedule a meeting on my other calendar so that, you know, I have definite time to sit down and chat with people. Get to North Carolina a time or two a year. Corporate headquarters is in Charlotte. There you go, Howie. Get over to the shop at some point. Good, good, good. Does not appear that those are working on YouTube. Oh wait, yeah, I did see that. Cool. I'll have to check into that. It might just be one of those things where I have to go into Stream Elements and just figure out the because those are coming across via Stream Element. So once again, go through and I always take the mating connector and mate it up where the lock is. That gives me an idea or visualize how the cables go in. So red and blue are on the top here. That one went. Okay, so red, blue. A. All right, A1. And then we'll just have to do this one, which I think it comes around that. About like right there. We'll cut that. You had to create separate posts for the bots that you use. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'll work on. Like I said, I just found out about this software. It's RTMP or RMTP plugin for OBS. So installed that. So that lets me stream to both sides now at the same time. So that's kind of cool. And that might get interesting because I believe, no, that's Friday night that they do the Maker Hangout on Projects in Dad's Garage stream. So that's not a normal streaming night for me. That's a normal D&D gaming night for me. We'll see if we finish up since we're doing our D&D sessions here at the shop Friday nights now. that if I finish up early, maybe I jump over there and pop in on them. Or connect here, here. But yeah, I had with Tinkering Techie over here and Thunder Keys and the Chris's from KB3D, we were over here chatting. And once again, the plan is to get this wiring done and test, standard gantry, standard boron motion out, right? Can we make the shuttle move around? Can we get stepper buzz working and make sure that things are moving in the right direction, especially with the all-wheel drive gantry setup? Once we verify that, then we can go through and start working on getting a tool head talking. And once we get one tool head talking, then we'll go in and do the rest for, getting all the docks set up and everything calibrated, all that goodness. So this is not like we'll be pushing plastic next stream, but we're definitely getting closer every stream to being able to push plastic. That is the thought process right now. Tinkering Techie is doing centralist homing, and I know that I want to home Y before X. That way, if the shuttle is ever near the tool heads at the end of a print or has a tool head docked or what have you, it will always be coming back instead of trying to go across the backside of the tool heads, because if it has a tool head, it could do a lot of damage. So we want it to come back first and then go over. All right, so like the last time, we're going to plug this in. We've got blue. Back under blue. plugged in. So all of our all-wheel drive gantry wires are plugged in. We do have um, a zip tie point here, so we will add a zip tie in a couple of spots there. Let me go throw this stuff away and I will grab my zip ties. Yeah, no crashing. I believe the software that will be used to enable the stealth changer process allows you to do the homing override as you see fit. Just for initial bring up, you should be able to just use the UI to perform a Y home before doing an X home. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I want to try and keep this wire as tight as possible. Um, with that wire. Other side. Got an ad break over on the Twitch side of things. There's that. Snip off of our, or snip off our ends. Preferably without cutting an actual motor wire, because fuck. And this, like I said, I'll work this because I'll have to get it underneath there. And we'll have a little bit of pop out, which is fine because it'll be up underneath the motor itself, so nothing should ever hit it. Or if now that I think about it, I don't think this is gonna leave down in there with two wires. Let's see. My camera decided to take a siesta for whatever reason. Give me a second and I'll yell at it and get it back going. Wake Tiny. Apparently it felt tired. To and there were snips. So an alignment there. That's good. We put zip tie around that or something, maybe. And be good. I'm going to zip tie the wires as they come out of the um, cable chain. There we go. That should be all of our wiring. I'll bring you all around here so that we can get a little bit closer look at what all we did. So our 4 wires come out and are zip tied right here. 2 wires coming from this side come across. 2 wires come here. They're zip tied right underneath at the little attachment points for the all-wheel drive setup. And that'll keep everything nice and tight right there. As this comes down, it will hit on this, but we've got enough clearance anyhow, I believe. So this wire here is the connection for the Nevermore that's up underneath the build plate. So that just still needs to get attached underneath. But I think that gives us all the wiring that we'll need to try and test stuff out. And I will tell you, it is 9 o'clock. It's been a long, long day. And I don't think I'm going to try and run this thing tonight and test too much. The Nevermore not being plugged in, that shouldn't be a big deal. I guess we could maybe plug it in and do some stepper buzz tests just to see if our stuff is in the right direction at least. What are we going to have to do? Let me... that way. And do we do one more? Give me the shortest path. Do I have... I don't. So I don't have a power plug. I have to go and dig one out, and it's going to be... yeah, I would have to really go and dig one out. So I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight. Yeah, folks, I am a bit tired. It was a long day. Is the tool head ready to be plugged in so Clipper doesn't throw an error? I do have a tool head that I can plug in. So how I can get around that is it'll want a thermistor. And right now the thermistor is configured standard Voron. So it's looking for the thermistor on the tool board, I think. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that. Right now, what we have is a base. Let me flip over here. We have a basic build for a Leviathan. So basically what I took was I went to LDO's page, downloaded the basic Leviathan v2.4. We went to the extension motor page and brought that in. And where we left that off was the ADC shutdown. Okay, so it was looking for thermistor temp. It didn't read a thermistor, so it shut down. I could look real fast because, like I said, it's standard Voron. So let's take a look at the go over here, sit down for a second. Oh, that feels a little bit better on the back. So Leviathan, Clipper config, Voron 2. And let me come down here to, we'd have to update the X and Y end stops because right now I think they come factory set for the end stop pin. So we'd have to set the jumper on the board for the diag and change the end stop pin to a virtual end stop. And of course, we'll have to configure and tweak the sensorless homing for X and Y. The extruder. Sensor pin set to PA1, which would be TH0. Then the heater bed, and I did set a sensor type to generic 3950, right? So the sensor pin here would be set for PA2. Have to back here to the pinouts. And assign. So PA2 and we say PA1. So PA1 would be TH0, PA2 would be TH1. So by definition, if I put thermistors into PA0 and PA1, it would clear the ADC error. Okay. So I really got to stop doing that. So I put bed into PH0. Bed would be in PH1 by default config. So if I move the bed over to TH1, This shouldn't matter. This would be a Nevermore fan. I'd have to repin it as a 3-pin. Figure it to something over there. It's going to be way longer than it needs to be. We'll kind of just gauge that around and cut this a little bit shorter. Convert that to a 3-pin JST, which I will do off stream because I will maybe see. Do I have, I think I should have a 3-pin JST over here. Profit. See that. There's a make it 3 for this. 3. Hey there, Maker Viking. How's it going? When you get tool head homing with centerless homing, watch to see if the ant head gets bumped up when it reaches X max. Okay. You're working on Tinker Atlas. What? All right. And so this is just a 2-pin fan. So we've got positive and a ground. Gonna do the JST on this real fast, and we can plug this in. I have absolutely no idea where the Nevermore would go. Once again, we've got a default config, so we'll look and see what the default config says it should be plugged into, and we'll get that going. Got lots of work. Oh yeah. Yeah, so we had a great grand opening day today. Started off a little slow, but everybody showed up, and it was a great event for all. KB3D came out of Ohio and surprised us. And we had Thunder Keys come down out of Virginia, which was great. Exactly. Exactly. We had, so for those of you interested, we don't have just, stuff for Flash Forge and Bamboo. We do have Rapido 2. We have ultra high flow Rapido 2s, and we've got the Dragon ultra high flows in as well. So if anybody's looking for Dragon ultra high flow or Rapido 2 that'll do over 300 degrees C, I've got them. All right, now this was PWM. Power at the bottom, PWM, or AKA ground in the middle. taco, which we're not using. Bring this down with the rest of those wires. Way, there, up, and figure out in the base config where that goes. So what numbers are we looking at? PB7, PB3, PS7. I think there should be something in there, or at least we'll see what's in the base config for fans. Heater, probe, fan control. Print cooling fan, PB7, that'll get changed. Heater fan, that'll get changed. Controller fan, PF7. So it would be the heater fan exhaust fan. So that's going to go into fan 3 for PF9. Fan 3 for PF9, yes. Oh, I did. I pinned it wrong because I was looking at the ground's in the right spot. The power won't be. Fix that. Oh, that will go there. And then what we can do is I can do the little trick where we put a thermistor into the tool head, and that'll trick it into thinking that it's got a thermistor, so it should let us then bring it up without taking the ADC auto shutdown. So we check the live stream over here, see if anybody's been popping questions. Does not appear to be over on YouTube. So yeah, so Maker Viking, we are actually streaming live to both Twitch and YouTube. So you guys are seeing that screen, looking at it, because that's where we're at. So yeah, so I think we have the fans configured. We can remind me that we need to uncomment the section for the Nevermore fans. And then I need to grab a thermistor that we can do a dummy thermistor with. I do have a few of those sitting around here. I mean, think I have a couple. I've got about 8 different sets of thermistors because I can't find them, and then I order a new set, and then I find it. But yeah, always having a spare thermistor sitting around that you can plug in to do testing like this on the bench. If you have a small thermistor that's not like gamely huge like this, that works even better. By huge, I just mean really, really long cable length for no apparent needed reason. Go. Work with me. Work with me. There we go. For now. Good enough. We'll just plug this into TH0, and that will give us a reading on both TH0 and TH1. Over there and get out of the way. Sloop that up there. Okay. Still have a need for a power cord though, and I have to get one of those and leave it out here for future use. Let me see if I can grab one quickly. One should work. This is a 10-foot long one, so side. Ten-foot long, so that should work. Go here. Hey, hit the garbage can. Power on. Saw no magic smoke and no sparks. We have a screen that's starting to light up over here, so that's good. Be all over here some. And help me keep an eye on the screen, which is upside down. That's awesome. Should have kept the same IP address, so we should be able to initialize and go with browser window. Looking at me, not what we want. Turn that off, leave that one on. Get this on the right screen. All right, so we've got the printer config coming up. And like I said, we're very, very basic here. We've got a Clipper screen config because we installed Clipper screen on this. We have mainsail config, Moonraker, and a printer config and the VT or V2T Leviathan EXT config, which is just the config for the front two motors and the way that we've wired it up. We came through here, we added the serial ID so that the Raspberry Pi knows how to talk to it. We got the include section going. Sorry, getting in there. With mainsail and the Leviathan extended config. Got our basic printer section, and then we get into the stepper settings. The speedy power, are those 1.8 or 0.9? I think those are 1.8. So they probably need to go to 200 versus 400. I could be wrong, and if I am, please let me know. Oh, you know what we haven't done yet? We never did the Z in stop that we're going to need to use for the tool, because I normally never have a Z in here because we use the, we had a CNC tap on here. So we will need to build the Z in stop still. So the extruder is set up with basic gear ratios to 2. We're running 2 orbiters and 2 Galileo Z's, so this is probably going to change, and it's probably going to be done in a separate config, and this whole section will get commented out. Or that will be my thought, at least, on a tool changer. Heater bed, everything was good there. Probe is obviously going to change. I'll leave it there, otherwise it throws the config off until we get the Z set up. The heater fan, this is going to be our Nevermore. Attack, or shut down, start, tie it to the heater bed. Probably make it something like 90. So anytime the bed kicks in over 90, it should kick that fan in. Won't use that. We don't have chamber lights connected right now. Safe Z home. Sure, that will probably get changed. Quad gantry level. Got that set up with the probe points. Plays. And basic G-code macros. Okay, so it looks like the base config is set up. Go ahead and save and restart. I do need to make a change on the Raspberry Pi to flip the screen right side up. I think we can get there. What we need docks, LDO motors, into boron, got 4 kitch. Trying to remember, there is one of the guides for the Voron that talks about parts guide, the wiring guide. But anyhow, one of the sections in here talks about the screen. Bring up the touch screen. Guide on how to fix the screen. Okay, John Doe. Wanted to check and see what was, check chat over on the other side real fast. Screen is configured, rotating the screen. Card off, pull the card. No, all you need to do is go into putty. And know what IP address your machine is on. 92.168.1.210. Hi. Password, awesome. Now we want to with boot config text. Sorry, you all aren't seeing this. Pretty standard. I'm just going to follow the instructions. And oh, by the way, on I think Bookworm going forward, it's not boot/config.txt, it's boot/firmware/config.txt. And of course, you need to do a sudo so that you can actually write to it. And what are we going to be writing to config.txt? AT overlay. Add display underscore LCD underscore rotate equals 2. Overlay equals R. A. That done. Exit. Yes. Enter. Sudo reboot. Oh. And if everything goes well, the printer is going to reboot. You should see words in the correct orientation now, which it is. Should hopefully get a Clipper screen pop up there. There we go. So we've got Clipper screen back here, and it's in the proper orientation. Let's see if we're seeing things. Okay, so things seem to be working. Good. Temperatures 22 and 22. Huh, give me the times right. Okay. So we're good to go there. The machine's up, the machine's moving. Like I said, we can probably do a stepper buzz, but beyond that, boron, fine. borondesign.com. Old initial startup. Boron B2. Ready, let's go. Go. What am I missing? Why is it not letting me go? Verify temperature. Verifying temperature. Fine. Verify heaters. Yep, no, we're good. Verify fans. Can we turn on that Nevermore? Should be able to. Sure. Not here. Well, no, that would be the exhaust fan, so that fan's not going to work. This will be a different fan. Exhaust fan's going to be triggered by the bed turning on. So I tell the bed to go to 100. Now I just heard the side fan come on. And the Nevermore fan did come on as well. So the exhaust fan and the controller fan are going. Bed temp should be heating up. Hey, Diablo Spawn, how's it going? The grand opening went well. We had lots of folks here. We had Thunder Keys came down out of Virginia. We had KB3D, Chris and Chris surprised us coming down out of Ohio, and North Ohio at that. We had Tinkering Techie, yeah, was here. Yeah, bed is heating, but we're going to change that from 60% because that's not going to work for us. Yeah, we had lots of people here. We had Jedi Spidey here. 3D printed like me, who's known for having his Mecha Godzilla and or Mecha Kong with him. So he had, I think, Kong with him today, hanging out, chilling out. Of course, Evil Diesel and Mrs. Dragon had a blast here. We had Sandhills 3D, aka Lomax here. Yeah, we had plenty of people here. It was really good. Sold a couple of printers. Um, One of them was mine, so I've got to get a replacement in for that. What was I looking? Bed, heater bed, thermistor, heater pin, sensor type, pin, pull up resistor, max power. Not going to do 0.6. We're going to do something along the lines of 0.8. In temp, max temp, PID. Yep, we'll need to PID that. Save and restart. So heater is working. Motor checks. This is kind of where we wanted to do. We wanted to do a stepper buzz and make sure that motors are moving as expected. Copy that. Forward pause, back pause, repeat. Lack of movement or vibrating or buzzing oddly are all cause for concern. Ensure the motor moves the correct direction first. If the movement is backwards, it's important to correct at this stage. So X, the back left gantry motor, and and because we've got these here, I'm going to move this around to the side. So it's this motor that we're looking to move, and this motor will rotate clockwise first and then back counterclockwise. So we're going to move this back so we can kind of see the shuttle as the shuttle moves. And we're going to do the stepper buzz command. Once again, this is X, so it should be this motor. So that did move, and it moved clockwise. I believe that is moving in the right direction. Verify once again. Clockwise, then counterclockwise. Clockwise, then counterclockwise. So we're going to do Y next, and Y is going to be this side. And it should once again go clockwise and then counterclockwise. Just going to put my finger on it and kind of feel which way it rolls. Okay, and it was moving in the right direction as well. You wish you could handle and being in public sometimes. Oh, I get it. Mrs. Dragon and Evil Diesel went home, and they were both just wiped from all the social interaction basically going on all day. It was a lot for all of us. Now we're going to do X1. This is X. X1 should be the front right over here. So I'm going to put my finger on and send this. Just kind of feel that motor and which way it goes. So that felt like it was going counterclockwise, so opposite direction. Okay. I'm going to look at X again. And I know this was moving in the right direction. I'm going to watch that side and see how this side moves. And what I was doing was watching the live idler, not the actual motor, but the way the live idler was moving. So that when I do the X1, I want to see if that live idler is doing the same movement. And it is reversed. So if I was to do a true X move right now, the two X motors are going to fight, and most likely the two Y motors are going to fight each other. So yeah, it was a good time by all. That's correct, Tinkering Techie. Once again, I'm going to move this motor and watch how the live idler over here moves. And then I'm going to do Y1. Yeah, so right now my front motors are going the opposite of the rear motors. So if I do an X or a Y at the same time, they're going to fight each other. So what we're going to wind up having to do is come into our config, and in our V2T Leviathan extension config, this is where we're going to come in and change. So in a typical all-wheel drive configuration, we have two sets of motors. Each set drives a direction, usually diagonally in core XY, within a set. Motors are typically placed diagonally right here and right there, which is what we have. Make sure the rotation distance, micro steps, full steps per rotation are the same for all sets. Rotation distance is motor pulley tooth count, blah, 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 blah. So this is set for 200 for the 1.8 degree stepper. But what we need to do is change the direction for these. So the dir pin, we'll put a bang in front of that. And we'll come down, and the dir pin on the Y1, we'll put a exclamation point in front of that. And we'll save and restart. Yeah, use a Sharpie to draw a line on the shaft and you can see better. The other thing we can do is just put tape flags on them, right? So I can grab some tape, we'll put a tape flag on it. I do have the Sharpie marker here, but I just as soon use a tape flag, and that way it would actually be easier for everybody to see. Tape. Yeah, that might be hard. Tape, tape, tape. Here's some tape. Yeah. So let me just put some tape. And we'll do it on all four now. And the two corners should move the same direction when I call them out one at a time. So bring you all around here, and we'll look for this flag and then that flag when I call them one at a time. So we're going to do X. We should see this flag rotate towards the corner and then back away. Which it is. And then I'll do X1, and that corner is now the driving motor, and it should still move in the same direction, which is right, left, right, left, right, left, which is what it is doing. Might be hard for you all to see. We'll do Y. And it's not as noticeable on Y, but I'm noticing it's because the belt's a little looser. But everything is rotating in the right direction, so they're rotating the same way. Okay. We can do the Z's. We move up and then down. None of the Z's should have changed, but we'll do the Z's just for peace of mind. So this should move this front corner. It should go up then down. It is going up then down. Z1 should be this one right here. Okay, Z2 right here. And Z3 is that front corner, which is doing its thing, and it's going up then down. So, hey, Pez Liz, how's it going? So far, Stepper Buzz, everything is working, but we can't test the extruder because we have no hot end plugged in. And so I'm trying to think through right now. So why? No, we don't have sensorless homing set up. So right now, we're good to an extent. Things seem to be moving in the right direction, but we'll need to configure sensorless homing, and then we can, we'll try and home Y, and then we'll try and home X, and they should be working in the correct direction. Now, once again, Y right now, the belt seems a little looser. And none of the belts are properly tensioned yet, so we will need to do that. And then once we do that, I think we've got to, 2 of the idlers are tightened down, 2 of them are not tightened at all, and that'll allow the idler to self-align. Hey, Kegel, how's it going? Welcome in. But yeah, I think for now we're doing good. We've got movement. We've got what I will say basic Voron movement, right? X and Y are moving in the right direction via stepper buzz. Z is moving in the right direction via stepper buzz. The heated bed heats up. The controller fans and the Nevermore fan are operating as expected. Hey, Darth Gollum, how's it going? Going good here. Going good here. For those that is going, oh, sorry. So for those that are not aware, I am actually dual streaming right now over on Twitch as well, and I'm sorry, I am live on Twitch and dual streaming over to YouTube. And I just happened to look over at YouTube, and it seems like there is a ton of lag. So we're going to have to figure that out. But yeah, For right now, everything's going good. We had a great day today with the grand opening of the store. And yeah, we had lots of visitors. We had some surprise guests here with KB3D coming down out of Ohio and surprising us. But it was a great day for all. We had Tinkering Techie here and 3D Printed Like Me, which is Chris Lala. We had Sandhills 3D here. We had Jedi Spidey out here. Thunder Keys was here. So yeah, just lots of people that were here. It was a great time overall. And yeah, it was lots of fun. Everything went well. We did some giveaways, door prizes, and that was pretty well, or went over really well. So yeah, all in all, it was really good. We're excited. We're a little wiped out just because of all of the, I want to say, well, yeah, the hype. Everybody was hyped up for the day, and everything went well. We were on sugar rush because we got donuts and coffee this morning. We got some coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, and we got donuts from Sandra's Bakery, which is a local bakery that's just 2 blocks down the street. And that was amazing. I now see why they sell out before like 9 every day. And then later in the day, the Chris's, wow, like literally the Chris's. So Chris 1, Chris 2 from KB3D, and Chris Lala all walked up to Family Grounds Coffee and got another coffee run for us. So that was always fun. But yeah, all in all, it's been a great day. I am starting to get a little bit tired. I'm glad that we got basic movement on the Voron and we got that tested out. So things that we need to do, set up, we actually need to build and install the Z end stop because that's going to be critical. We'll need to tension the belts and check XY homing. And then we'll continue with the install of the fanny pack, which will at least give us the ability to mount a tool head on the shuttle and then start testing all of the end stops out, right? Because we'll need to test the both the Z end stop itself as well as the oh, what am I thinking? XY homing and all that stuff. It'll be better to do that once in the belts and have a tool head ready to go instead of, you know, my little hack of plugging in a thermistor to act as a to let Clipper actually come up without taking an automatic ADC shutdown error. Thanks, John Doe. I appreciate the congrats on the opening. And I really don't know how lagged the stream is over on YouTube. It's telling me that, yeah, we've got 6 concurrent viewers, 40 views, but I'm looking at the screen and it is way lagged. So hopefully that stream isn't too bad, or what I am seeing is not reality. I'll have to check it over there. Hey, Hutch's Makerspace, welcome on in. Tinkering Techie, the Z end stop isn't necessary for basic Voron movement. You can use the tap sensor for Z. Okay, and that's sort of what I was thinking. But the Z end stop will need to be built out regardless. Let me take a quick look at the. Okay, we're doing the wire duct, then it's umbilical. Huh. So in the guide, does it talk about doing the Z end stop at all? Yeah, the ball probe is used for the Z offset of the tool heads, and it would still, yeah, because it's still going to home using the tap sensor, right? Like you should be able to home X and Y without a tool head, but you have to have a tool head to home Z. And it should still home using the tap, right? Okay, yeah, and I guess that'll get into the calibration piece of it. Okay. I know the kit comes with the, I'll say the standard sex bolt, but using a ball instead of the flat top to be able to calibrate the tool X, Y, and Z offsets. I just haven't read through the manuals all the way, but I never saw where it said to build that piece. Backplates, no. Cable management would be the fanny pack. Door buffers, modular dock, shuttles, tool heads, top hat. Yeah. It's not even listed there in the build guide anyway. Interesting. So it's got the Axis Scope camera as a user mod. And I mean, I do have the says Axis Scope. I'm assuming that that is basically the oh yeah, the CXC camera by Ember Prototype. Because I do have one of those. I have one of those that's physically installed on the rat rig and like we'll say permanent installed, and then I have one that we used with the black box build. So I can use that. All right, anyhow, I'm looking into some things that I'll have to do. Software equipment. Regardless, I think I went down a rabbit hole to make sure that the wiring was good. The wiring is good, and the motors. On the next stream, which will be Tuesday, we'll come back in and we'll continue with the fanny pack build. So it's the cable management side of things. So we've got the fanny pack. We need to do the umbilical plate. Finish that up because one of those had the ECAS fittings that I keep forgetting to bring. We'll do the wire duct, we'll build the umbilicals, and then we'll start going from there. So I think that's a good enough place to leave it for this evening. I do want to thank everybody for being here. That was great. Yeah, go get some rest. Yeah, I am starting to babble because I'm tired. Yeah. So for now, I am going to tell Fay Dragon to take a nap, shut down so I can power it off. Yeah, that's what I was going to do is jump over to Twitch and see who's up and running so that we can do a raid. Who is up and running? Hey, there's a person. Who's up? Zombie, of course, is up and running. Anna, Vile Mods. Cool. Free Heathen's up doing some. He's playing some Fallout 76. Astro Canucks up. Tech Trooper's up as well. Well, at least he's doing some baby belt. He's away from keyboard. Any suggestions? We haven't been over to Astro Canuck or Free Heathen in a hot minute. What would everybody like to see? YouTube, I don't know what's going to happen with you guys other than stream should stop. Zombie Astro, yep. And we haven't gone over to Astro Canuck in a while. Let's jump over to Astro Canuck. Getting the raid starting. So, all right, folks. Thank you so much for being over here. Please go with me as we raid over to Astro Canuck on the Twitch side, on the YouTube side. Like I said, first time dual streaming, and that it's looking like it's lagging. So we'll have to see how that comes out overall. Thank you all for being here. It's been a great day, and I hope everybody has a great night and a great weekend. And we will see you all on Tuesday. Thanks all. Have a great one. Bye now.